Welcome to another Trackmania Turbo Trackmaster tutorial. I know the series was on a hiatus for a week or so, but I didn't have as much time to record. I wanted to go ahead and get the GT Sports stuff out there. Had a good amount ranked so that it's back going as well. But also, well, this is going again too. Back where I left off, the last one I did was 13, and this one is 14. So, well, let's get right into it. Again, as I said, I'm pretty cotton picking good with this car. This one's actually the last in a row of like 11, 12, 13, 14, but there's still more of this car coming up. This seems to be the one I'm best with. But anyway, to start off with, this entire course is on like dirt and grass. So it's kind of unstable, it's somewhat iffy, but it's not the worst for this terrain. Stay on the dirt, going in the grass a little bit is fine. As long as you're mainly in the dirt, you're good. Just don't go too much beyond almost two tires, almost the two tires on the track off. Like, in a way, you sort of kind of run it like a real racetrack, like as close as you can get before you have all four tires off the main track, do that. And generally you're good. Also, for that first turn, I guess it's probably best to go back a little bit. For that first turn, it's actually better to go a little bit wide there, because then you carry a lot more momentum through the second turn, and you don't have to take as much of a line through there. So overall, it's less steering motions, because you didn't have as much steering going into it, so therefore you carry more momentum out of it. So even though it doesn't look as pretty in terms of getting on the apexes, you do carry more speed for the fairly long straightaway here. And also part of this straightaway is water. There's no way to avoid the water, you just have to do it, but pretty much as long as you go right in the middle of it, you're good. If you have your car stable going into it and you stay in the middle, you're good through there. Continuing on, it's still the straightaway. Again, that's why it's important to go ahead and momentum over angle for those last set of turns, because that's a long straightaway for a relatively short course. Next turns, though, it pretty much is on the apex. Just, again, make sure you keep two tires on the track. Again, this game likes to kind of have some realism, and, well, that's some realism there. Whatever, it's easy enough to do, because it's easy enough to remember. Just almost four tires off the track, but not quite. Get as close to that as possible without actually doing it. Next turn, do the apexes and stuff. That gets you to where you're not quite on the outside for the straightaway, but just gradually go to the outside where you're on the straightaway. And then start sweeping into this turn. Again, pretty long straightaways, you don't need to get right on the apex, but this one's riskier doing that, because the previous turn, there's really nothing to hit. This one, there's something to hit. More times than not, honestly, I hit that side. But if you get off of there close to that side without hitting it, then you're pretty much good, really, to the end. Just get your car stable back out for this bit. I'm a little bit on the right for this little set of water, but I think as long as you're stable through here, you're good, because it's really not that much out of it. You're going to lose a lot less time not getting the water completely right through here than that first one. And realistically, I think centering matters more than where you actually hit the water in. As long as your car is stable, it doesn't really matter where it is in it, as long as it stays in that same direction. But anyway, then you're to the line, and you got the time there. This, because it is so many different terrains that ain't road, probably the main thing to remember is keep your car stable, keep your car straight, and then you're good for the main bit. And then also remember, apexes aren't that important when leading to straightaways, because more than anything, you do sort of just want to keep your car straight. The straighter you can keep your car while still making the turns without hitting anything, the more speed you carry. And then, well, that leads you to here, being the Trackmaster medal. This particular one, I had an okay rank. I actually jumped up pretty cotton picking far, too, when I did this. This took me a little bit, because my general racing, what I know, kicked in of being on the apexes completely, and like, don't go way out in turns and stuff like that, but it doesn't really work as much here, because momentum is more important than that. But once I figured that out for this particular one, I did okay with it. And just remember that for yourselves, too, and you also do pretty okay with it. Really, but the only hard part is going into that last straightaway, you might hit that barrier. And then also getting in the water unstable. But other than that, this one ain't too hard. And I hope y'all enjoyed this and learned something from it. And as always, yeehaw!